Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how I would set out this bathroom. I had a quick look at the plans and this is me just walking into it for the first time. We've got these nice hexagonal tiles here, quite small actually for hexagons, and that blue and white floor tile going through the floor. Now the first thing I like to do here is just walk around the bathroom and see what's in it, have a look at the walls, see what bar fittings we've got, just things to start thinking about when I set the tiles out, what I need to bear in mind basically. Quite high ceilings in this one. It's a period building. Also has a few angled walls there as well. So I'll have to see how the hexagons work with that. So you can see there's some pipes there for the basin, the toilet, a bath over on the angled wall there, and a window. These are all things that I'm thinking in my head, but when I set it out, I've got to allow for. The shower tray there is fully tiled, and the rest of the room by the plans is half tiled. Here we are. So we've got a nice freestanding bath there. We've got a couple of radiators. We've got a basin vanity unit, so tiles will be covered behind that. The shower enclosure here, which has a glass screen. So I'm just looking to see what's covered, what's not, and what I'm working with. It's a really nice design, actually, this one. I really like it. So let's get into showing you how I set it out. Now, as the room's mostly half tiled, I'm going to go with this bronze trim here to finish it off on the top, because I'm going to have to cut through the hexagon, so I'll have a rough cut. So the trim would just finish it off nicely. And this is going to match the bath controls and shower controls, taps, etc. So it should really complement the design of the bathroom. It's always good to match when you can. So as you can probably already guess, I'm going to lay the hexagons out on the floor. It's just a lot easier with these. You can measure them, but at the end of the day, you get a good perspective from laying a few out on the floor. You can put your tape measure to them and just check everything like that. So with hexagons, that's the way I'd go for setting out the bathroom to start with. Just put a few down, put some spaces in them for your height and horizontal, and then we can start seeing what we've got. On the plans, the half height is set out at 1.2 meters. This is pretty standard. So the first thing I'm thinking is I need to go around and see if that works to the shower tray, to the floor, to the ceiling, etc. So once I have the tiles laid out, I'll put a tape measure on them and start having a look. I've self-leveled the floor here as well in preparation for when I tile the floor. It's good to mark off a level surface as well. So already I can see here at 1.2 or 120 centimeters, it works fine on one tile, but as they're hexagons, on the other tile I'll have a gap. Straight away I know that's not going to work. That gap will probably be on the floor, so I'm going to have to change that. What I'm going to go for here is go to the bottom of the right hand tile there, which is 119.5. That way I know the floor's level. I'll finish with a full tile on the floor. I won't have a big gap anywhere. So that's what I'm going to go for. And I'll probably allow a little bit of play. That will become my half height. Instead of 1.2, it'll be 119.5. So that's my first check done. Now I'm going to put some lines on the wall. I'm going to mark at 119.5, draw a level line at that height. Then I can start going around the room, seeing if that works on certain things like the pipes, the bath taps, the shower tray, etc. If your floor is not level, take the mark from the lowest point on the floor. That means in the worst case scenario, you'll be cutting more off the tile, rather than if you take it from the highest point, you could end up with a gap somewhere. Here I'm also drawing the line up the shower tray where the full tile will end and turn into the half tile. And there I have my horizontal and my vertical lines. Now I just check these. I want the fully tiled shower to start with a full tile from the line. So I'm just going to check this now. I've measured it to the line. Now I'll put it onto the tiles and I can see roughly where the cut would be. And if I can get it off from there, I'm just measuring from the line back to the left-hand wall to see what the cut would be there. So starting with a full tile from my vertical line into the shower, I'm going to show you here what kind of cut I'd have to finish with. The trim would go against this cut, so it's quite small. But that's the joys of hexagons. So the first thing I need to do now is see if I can actually cut that cut off. So I'll check that before I get too excited. So onto the trusty Sigma cutter. This is my smallest 600 one today. This thing never lets me down, so let's see. And yeah, it comes off perfectly, so this should be absolutely fine. And now with a full tile next to it, I'm just testing it up against the wall here to see what it'll look like and how it will all work out. And my trim will go up that line next to it, as that bit's the fully tiled part. So I'm pretty happy now with my horizontal set out. A bit like with herringbone, hexagons would just wrap around the corner, so it would be what it would be when it comes off there. And to me, this having the full tile where the shower's fully tiled is the most important part. So the bit that comes off one wall will go on the next wall and it just continue around the room from there. So you only need to set one wall out with hexagons, again, same as herringbone. Just get that first point where you're going to start and then the rest will just continue. So I'm just going to check the height here of how it works out to the ceiling. Check the upper walls, I'll just transfer the line that I drew over with my level. I'll just put a mark there and I can just draw a little level line just to check firstly to the windowsill to see how that works. So I'll just put a line under the windowsill, then I can measure down from my top line, see what the measurement is, and then put that on the hexagon pattern on the floor, and then I can see what the cut would be around the windowsill. Same here for the bath taps. I'll just transfer the line onto the next wall, draw a little level line, and I'll measure down from that line to the taps, mark on the tape. These taps will have flanges. I'll take the mark onto the pattern on the floor there, draw the marks that I just drew on the tape, and then I'll show you here. This is how it'll work out basically on them. Right, depending on what tile I finish on around there, these are the two circles basically for the bath controls where they'll be, and that's fine. I can get them out of the tiles, so no issues there. And then I just put my laser up sometimes just to check to make sure my lines are good as a final check. I can just transfer them around the room a bit better as well, make sure everything is good. It's sometimes nice to work to a laser as well rather than keep checking things with a level. But now I'm happy with that. I've got my starting point there. This bathroom is now set out for the walls and I'm good to go to start tiling for hexagons. In the next video, guys, I'll show you that process. There'll be a few parts in this series, so subscribe if you're not so you can keep up to date with the next videos coming in the line. Cheers, guys. Take care. Hope this helped.